My name is Margaret Ann Windsor, kidnapped in 41 H2 from London, England. My father's Edward VIII, who never married Wallace Simpson. She married a double. My father was taken down by character assassination and lies. He was always married to my mom, Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, sister to artist George O'Keefe, from Madison, Wisconsin. My father would not go along with the Freemasons, the Illuminati, so they took him down and installed George VI, who helped in my kidnapping and the takedown of his own brother. And thus Elizabeth became illegal monarch. The day I was born, I've put all this up. My father never meant to leave. He's the good guy that's been so assaulted by the media, the global government. I'm going to leave it there. I've put all this up. I want to put this up. I've been talking about chipping people and what really appears to be end times. Well, of course, the global government's in power. The Illuminati, they came to power because they took my father down, and the illegal treaties that were signed after then that allowed the United States to come in as friends, going to save us, after they took my dad down, kidnapped me, brought me to Moulton, Alabama, gave me another name. So they come in and actually they cleared it out so they could control my family. And I've put all this up. Elizabeth and her father are members, and so are the rest of my family, most of them, of the global government. And I put a list up yesterday. Obama, all your presidents have been. But here, I want to tell about this. There was the Iran-Contra affair, and this had to do with Oliver North. He was, and I know I should have probably taken time to redo this. It was congressional hearings in July of 87. Now, I have a different time put here. I was there when they shut the hearings down, the 25th. It was on the radio, and I had happened to go up there, and, well, I went to the embassy, of England then. Okay, Oliver North and his secretary that shredded the documents that were subpoenaed by this congressional hearing, I don't think she was never charged with anything. In fact, she went on to live her life. Fawn Hall was, but I want you to get into something that becomes a bit, it's how it's in there, as in Bambi Rob, back when I was a candidate to replace Congressman Larry McDonald. Plane went down, 83, and I was flown out to Mr. Flint's, who had been shot by a program shooter. That's what I was writing about, mind controlling, chipping people, putting chips in them, the global government. I didn't know at the time it was a global government. Anyway, so that I get this up, Oliver North, it was dismissed and all the charges dropped. He had at first, but these were dropped, is my understanding from reading this. Well, they were 3 years suspended prison term, 2 years probation. He's worth $5 million for being on Fox news media, books, etc. Okay, he 1991, all charges were dropped. Now, if I can get to this, I wanted to mention Fawn Hall, and I know I've got it. I should have done a better job of trying to put it together, but this is my life here, and it's okay. He was under investigation. He and Fawn Hall. His secretaries read the documents that were subpoenaed by the Congressional Committee. Oliver North, okay, Bambi, I started to say Bambi, it's Fawn Hall, was employed by the U.S. National Security Agency 83 to 87. She up north, shred the confidential documents. She After all this, she was invited to a White House Christmas 1984. Okay, and then I want to put that. I'm sure I didn't get it all down. There's part of this. Let's see if I've got it. Fawn Hall, after the Iran-Contra hearings, moved to Los Angeles and married Danny Sugarman of the Doors. He was the manager of the Doors. The Sugarmans lived in an affluent section of Los Angeles called Hollywood Hills. Reported Sugarman introduced Hall to crack cocaine. She developed an addiction and suffered non-lethal overdose and went to rehab. And he died of lung cancer, her husband, and Hall listed the house for sale for $2 million. And I believe they state she still lives in Los Angeles. I'm sure I missed something there, but I was going to tell this. This involves Sir Terry Waite. He did come through Roanoke after I came here after 86, so I've forgotten the year, but he stopped at the Roanoke airport here, and I was not too far from him. I wish I could have met him, but he was en route to Radford, Virginia, at the college, I believe, for a speech. But anyway, I wanted to get into Oliver North, put a chip in him. Oliver North was with the Marines, I believe, too. That's okay. And then later all this and shredding of the documents. Anyway, he placed a chip in Sir Terry Waite's arm. And that's how they located him. I think they said when they found him 5 years later. It also allowed the people to kidnap him that they were looking for, calling terrorists. Well, to Terry Waite, they were terrorists. Well, I was going to try to read this in a minute if I can, and it doesn't go off. I'm just about to be shut down. I'm telling you that now. And I won't get into detail, but yeah, they are shutting me down. Okay, so here's where they put chips in you. But, and this was recorded, but they don't tell about the GPS system that tracks you. They don't tell about mind control. Now, I don't know that that was used on Sir Terry Waite. You get the Archbishop again of Canterbury. I mean, Cosmos Prost, I think was, excuse me, his name. My mom and dad were married in the Church of England. I think he married them. He knew, yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. When I was born in 39, I was christened in the church. So I'm going to leave that. The Church of England was part of taking down my dad. Yeah, for telling the truth. Oh, so where am I now? I will say this. Well, I won't either. I'm going to try to read this. So in this whole thing, crime pays. Sure does. So far for all of them. Now, Oliver North. Okay. I'm just going to read this about Terry Waite. Even during the season of Thanksgiving, gratitude can be perverse. When Terry Waite and Thomas Sutherland came out of captivity in Beirut, they bore two bits of good news. The remaining Western hostages might be freed soon, and Terry Anderson was no longer chained to a wall and face the cruelties of terrorism. The end of the hostage saga, the argument goes, will open new opportunities for improving relations with Syria and Iran, patrons of terrorist and hostage taking. Can you imagine what this sounds like to me as I sit here? I'm a hostage in plain sight. I'm the real monarch, kidnapped by the United States. And you talk about terrorism. I hope to God that there's films of what's been done to me and my sons. And I want to see Well, I know who the terrorists are. Let me put it that way. I've been a. Oh, can you imagine reading all this and sitting here and what they've done to me and mine? Anyway, indeed, the environment, I can't see. I need glasses. These are 6 years old. Got cataracts, so bear with me. Indeed, the revisionism has already begun. Syria may not have drowned Pan Am 103. The Syrian-backed terrorists were concocting a similar scheme. What a joke. Back to the Bloomingdale tapes. I hope you get somebody decides to look back at that and the Reagan, and then what? When I took my book in a letter from the FBI, and I'm falling down in the Capitol because I don't have any food, and I'm trying to get this to them, but I've paid the copy. It's not cute. They don't want it told. And what happened to me when I came out from logging it in to Michael Reagan on his lapel in, I guess that was about the 1st of October, maybe, of 82. What happened to me then? It's ongoing, not investigation, it's ongoing crimes committed against me and my sons in the country. Okay, I don't think this is going to have enough, and I can't see. But they're talking about Syrian leader Assad back then, and this was published, let me see, him being the terrorist. Wow, you talk about, oh my God, so long as you don't tell the truth here. This was 12/2/91 People magazine, page 64. Okay, so I may skip around if you. I can't get it all up here because they are shutting me down. I put up the one yesterday about the Watergate tapes and Henry Kissinger, and that's when they started shutting me down. And this said waiting for approval or something. And then it was on TV about that time. So help me that Facebook and Google are actually shutting down, and they referred to, oh geez, don't let me forget his name, Jones, Alex Jones. He's one of the few people here in this country with George Norrie and Coast to Coast and Clyde Lewis that tell the truth about all this mess. They won't tell about me, though, and what they did to my dad. But they are telling all the other stuff. Now, if you look at Alex Jones, what they're doing to him, I mean, they're going after him. You know, I would think somehow they chipped him because of the behavior they're showing him using. They're so much like chipping someone and making them look absurd and crazy, and photographs they can take and publish that do the same thing. You can publish and redo photographs to look good or bad, or take them at the time and make you look bad. Anyway, I'm going to get on down here. Bush and Baker, fervent deal makers, argue. By the way, Bloomingdale tapes were, this gets into, oh my God, into pornography. And, well, I'm not even going to tell it because, well, people were killed that had the tapes. Last I heard, Larry Flint had the tapes, and they went in after him again to get the tapes. People died. It was well, it's connected to the Bohemian clubs. And by the way, I was the one telling about the Bohemian clubs before anybody else was, way back. I can't see, so I'm not going to be able to put... it was a lot of hell that Sir Terry Waite went through. 5 years, I believe, he was in the dark and underground there and couldn't see the light himself. And the Church of England helped put the chip in him, according to this, and I don't doubt it now, knowing what I know. In return to Britain, Waite shared a hearty laugh with Robert something, the retired. Well, you took my name there, fellas. Well, everybody will hate me, won't they? Wow, wonder why. Archbishop of Canterbury and the man who had originally dispatched him to Beirut with Sir Oliver North, or did they give him a sir? Elizabeth, did you make him a sir or something? um, well, I'm not going to put any more up because I don't have it laid out and can't. Anyway, I think he's still alive. I hope so, and I hope he's had some kind of nice life himself. But they put a chip in him, and Oliver North did, and that was reported back then too. And crime pays. Sure does.